Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I am speaking with Pete Lacey and Alison Steele. The two of them have just released a fantastic new track. It is called Home, and I am super excited to talk to them all about it. Both of you, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here. It really means a lot. How are you? What's going on?
Great. Well, thanks for having us. We are really excited to share this song and all the work that we've done together. Thank you for having us. It's
You're
wonderful.
very welcome. Where are you in the world?
We are in the Santa Cruz Mountains of California,
Oh,
which is just outside
beautiful.
the Bay Area. It's between Santa Cruz and Silicon Valley. It is just a beautiful place to create and live and thrive, and great music scene. And we just love living here.
We sure do.
I fully agree. I've spent a significant amount of time in Santa Cruz, and it is truly one of the most beautiful and I still think underrated places in California. Everyone either goes to the Bay Area, and that's about it. And they kind of just skip on by Santa Cruz. And it's one of those places that deserves to be checked out.
Yeah, this little town, Boulder Creek, it's just up northeast of Santa Cruz, so it's tucked
Hmm.
away in the mountains. So you have this windy drive of Highway 9, just this gorgeous drive of these, epic redwood trees. And then you go through this little string of mountain towns and you end up in Boulder Creek, and that's where we are. So,
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. Listen, so you've got this new song out. It's called Home. And I know that this is a very personal song. And I've got a feeling that it probably has something to do with maybe the location that you're in. I think it would be great if you kind of explain to people what this song is about and what directly influenced it.
Yeah, well, if anyone's familiar with all the California wildfires that have been happening over the years, in 2020,
Yeah.
a lightning struck here and created a very giant firestorm called the CZU lightning fire. It was a complex fire that grew into one big, large fire, and it swept right through here in our town, and we were both evacuated. We didn't
Yeah.
even know each other then. Seen Allison play a lot, but we weren't friends at the time. And so we were sitting at our hotel, my wife and I, and we saw a video of Allison that she put on social media, and it was about a song called "The Good Life," and it was basically about our town, and that we'll get back to it, and that there's more important things, staying together with your family, and that song really resonated with us at the time. And I really noticed Allison as a songwriter and a singer then, because seeing her live, it's a fleeting moment, but to actually go replay the video and listen to the imagery that she paints with these lyrics, I really knew I wanted to work with her even back then.
Thank you, Pete.
Of course.
I appreciate
But
it.
I didn't know her yet, so how are we going to do that?
Right.
So,
I mean, yeah, it looks like a terrible situation turned into a beautiful song. So as bad as the fires are and consistently are, it made this song. How did the collaboration actually start?
uh, well, um, another part of the song is that years passed by before it actually came about. Allison's song was about what we were going through at the moment. All of our neighbors
Right.
through the fires. My song came to me in the shower, like a lot of great
Of
lyrics.
course.
Um, and I just remembered Allison's song, and I just remembered it. And mine was a little bit more of an uplifting continuation of what she had started. And
Right. So, because your song kind of focuses on too, having like maybe, you have your busy, early, hard day at work and you're coming back to this beautiful community. And everybody up here, is living in a wooden house and built, from the redwoods. And, we all have gardens and we have these small swimming holes that as a community,
Hmm.
you go down to the swimming hole, you grab your banjo or you grab your guitar, and you're gonna head down there, with your kids, with your dogs, and that's kind of how you connect with your community
Sure.
day. So, and then you end up, at your sweet cabin in the mountains, and it's, I think, just going through the fires and the people who didn't lose homes, it's we just appreciate our home so much. And with that, our sense of community, because
Right.
everyone got so tight and everyone rallied to help one another. So we all just kind of came together over that. And yeah, so your song is the continuation of like, man, we are thriving again as as a small community, and up in the mountains here, through the local papers, and just
Hmm.
as everybody comes out and everybody supports, and whether it's music or art, the art scene, um, yeah, our community is just, it's so heartfelt up here.
Mhm.
So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, we really do mention these spots and these things that we do at the end of the day,
Right.
coming back.
It's
There you
all,
go.
it is very personal. It didn't start out that way. I started out it was coming from a third party point of view. And then I actually shelved it because I still didn't really know Allison for about another year. And it was
Sure.
just finally we bumped into each other in the grocery store. We started talking, we started getting social media. And then I finally approached her at one of her gigs, and I said, "Hey, love to collaborate with you." And she still didn't say yes. Um,
I'm a busy gal.
she is. She
Hey,
is.
it's okay.
Got other bands, and just walking up to her, I didn't have a song, I didn't have much of a plan, but I did have another song that I wrote for AJ Lee, who's AJ Lee in Blue Summit. She's a
Okay.
huge bluegrass star. And I said, "Allison, please listen to this song." And she did, and then finally said, "Okay, I'm all in." And then we just started out the writing sessions back and forth. Actually, she had gone back to Virginia for where she's originally from, and we just started doing the lyrics so back and forth over
Sure.
apps and whatnot until we finally had to sit down here in the studio, and
We hashed out the details and rearranged some words and got it like we wanted it together.
yeah,
So, yeah.
That's
yeah.
amazing. And listen, I find that collaborations can be kind of difficult sometimes because obviously you two come from different musical worlds, although you probably have similar influences. How did it actually work in like the blueprints of making the song? How did you decide on who would take what responsibilities?
Well, Allison's the only banjo player in the room, so she was taking the.
Okay, so that was an easy pick.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, she's great voice. She's got this raspy voice that could be sweet and Dolly Parton like in the same phrase. Her banjo playing is so mesmerizing and fluid.
Sure.
Um, that was the person that I wanted to be on this record. I come from a little bit of a rock background, a little jazz background. I play trumpet and
Nice.
so I kind of wanted this to be, a little bit of a Counting Crows piano in a way,
Okay.
on top of banjo, and on top of that, two types of banjo playing on the same track. So it was really a big combination.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. I think Pete is a studio man. So Pete gets to have fun in the studio, whereas
Right.
I'm more of a live player. I play out a lot, and I play, with a lot of folks. So it was really interesting. I've done some studio stuff, but it was so easy to work with Pete, and also because we're both really heartfelt and
Sure.
open to ideas. So like for instance, the verses, he came in with the first verse and he said, "This is what I've got, and this is the feel that I want. This is the picture that I'm painting." And
Hmm.
said, "Can you throw in a second verse to that?" And so I did, and he said, "Oh, you're getting personal with this, with your garden and your cat and grabbing your banjo and heading to the junction." And I said, "Well, yeah, home."
Sure.
Third verse, we came together and we wrote that one together, and we did it here in the studio, and it just kind of flowed. And nobody, you don't take things personal. You lay all the ideas out on the table. You
Yeah.
choose the ones that work for the project, and it just did end up coming together so nicely. So,
Amazing.
a dream to work with. Anything you want in the studio, it's there before you ask for it. He's also
Nice.
quite a chef. I'm a gardener. I have a
Okay.
gardener, and so when I would come over, he would have all these, you know, house-made treats for me
Well,
ready.
yeah, you can't
So
make music on an empty stomach.
cannot.
Treat all the artists
So
with.
yeah, Pete treats all the same.
Incredible.
So it was really just a pleasure collaborating with him. I
Amazing. Well,
yeah.
I love that. Did you always have a vision for the actual genre, or did it sort of shapeshift over time as you continued to work on the song?
Oh, I think it shapeshifted.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Interesting.
I mean, I can hear songs, kind of produced in my head before they're there. So elements of
Yeah.
that, but it wasn't until the banjo got in, because even the
Yeah.
demo tracks I used a keyboard banjo as a guide. It wasn't the right banjo, wasn't the right sound, wasn't even the right notes, really. Allison came and she practiced, she made it her own. She really worked hard outside of the studio,
Yeah.
much more than I ever anticipated. And I mean, that's why we're really proud of it, and that's why we're here today. Um, because if it were just a song we recorded and threw out there, it wouldn't have meant as much.
Well, I love the banjo and the keys together. I've never really played with a lot of keys. The girl band that I play in, her dad was a key player. He played the keys with Chris Christopherson and a lot of, guys like that. So we kind of had this saloon like sound on the piano, and so that's kind of what
Yeah.
picking up a little bit. And I just thought how fun to pick a banjo with the keys behind it. It just,
It's amazing.
yeah,
Good work.
it's just different for my ear. So yeah, it was fun.
Mhm.
Very cool. Well, considering that you've both, separately made music on your own, I know that as an artist, it's always interesting how the process works of making music. Whether you're singing the lyrics in the shower, kind of creating the melody, or just kind of jamming it out on a banjo. Did you find it difficult or different to make this song as two instead of one?
Did we find it difficult to make it? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Whereas, like, lyrics come first, then the instrumentation,
Oh,
or did it all kind of just happen in the studio?
Yeah, so I think the ultimately it came together in the studio, but the components came together on their own.
well, your
Okay.
melody happened in the shower, so you kind of had the melody going,
You took it
right?
somewhere completely where
The
I wasn't
words
thinking it'd
might
go.
changed it, and then yeah, the banjo changed it for sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you did have the melody going, right? And then
Yeah. I think it morphed. I think it definitely morphed, and I think it started
it did
out
shape
as,
shift, yeah.
because we started out, we did both. We threw the lyrics back and forth.
Mhm.
We were You were practicing the banjo back and forth and piano. So I think that ultimately when we got in the studio, I mean, it was a big, long 1 10-hour recording studio day where we did all the vocals and all the banjo.
Sure.
Um, Probably 20 hours writing sessions and heart to hearts and tacos before that.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Tacos.
Yeah,
Love
goodness,
that.
full on, just like just 2 days of just kind of going at it, and yeah, I don't think anybody has really dialed in a song that quickly, but we both were just motivated. Just once we started, because the creative process, once you start writing a song, it's really hard to break away. You do want to take breaks and come back and have a listen and then tweak it. And that's what we did. We did this intensive session together and we thought, that's not quite right. And let's change this, let's change that. And we gave it like a week, but then we came back and kind of went full force onto both of our critiques and just worked at those intensively for just like a 10-hour session.
Mhm.
And then
Wow. Okay.
after that, you did a ton of post work, and I got to just go home and drink tea. And and yeah, so yeah, we just kind of kept at it because we didn't want to lose the momentum of
Of
what we were
course.
feeling right here because it felt
Yeah,
good.
understand that. For anyone that listens to this song for the first time, is there like one main big takeaway that you'd want them to pull from their listen?
Hmm. I would say just take notice of the two backgrounds coming together as one. And that's
Sure.
a lot of the critiques and a lot of the reviews that we've been getting lately is that that's been recognized that we're different, but it sounds cohesive and the narrative really works. And that was what we were going for. I mean, really, that's what I really set out to do is like Allison's so different. I wrote so different. I wanted to finish the song with Allison, and it would have been on the shelf if I couldn't have worked with Allison. So it really is the two of us blending in such a way.
Right. And so coming from a storytelling aspect and just kind of growing up in the mountains with the music being, a story, I would also say, just kind of get lost in it, but listen to the story. And I guess the takeaway moral would be, don't forget, like, just to come home and enjoy your home because I know people, they're constantly working and working and working. And
Right.
like, just take some time to just
Yeah.
enjoy. And I think that when I hear that song, like, I immediately start smiling because, like, it's a story of just like focusing on the now and
Sure.
just all these beautiful things in life that, are our everyday ordinary things, but just feed the soul and feed the spirit. So,
I
yeah.
love that. Um, d- During the actual recording process, were there any ideas that were thrown out that you potentially thought were great ideas, but didn't quite make the cut that could be used for maybe a future demo?
I think that what we cut was it was the words that weren't telling the right story.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
we had a heart to heart, and again, I was coming from a third party. I didn't have. Okay, let me give you an example. When Allison came to me,
Sure.
would I say that? I wouldn't say that, so I wouldn't sing that. So, and we did
Oh,
word by word, and it was every word was intentional because of that scrutiny. And so that's why it tells a great story because it really is true.
Right. Yeah. I think sometimes, the lyrics, like children, like for instance, like when we were saying our children, and it's like, no, honestly, I would just say our kids, it just
right, right.
so just little things like that, and I think sometimes when you're writing a song, it's easy to want to rhyme, and I think sometimes you don't
Yeah,
always have to rhyme, to just to get people kind of tapping their foot, you
I
know.
agree.
Yeah, so I think yeah, we reworked some lyrics, and we were just kind of, yeah, talking about the narrative and the adjectives, I think, and it just, we really wanted to make it real.
Yeah.
So that's
Nice. And listen, Allison, from your perspective, I really respect the sort of like musical integrity there. I think it would have been I'm serious, it would have been very easy for you to just kind of go with it and sing what was written down. But it kind of goes to the essence of collaboration. Like if you're not communicating and you're just going with the flow, then it kind of feels like you're phoning it in. And this is the complete opposite, which I love. And I think like the passion and the love for it all comes through in the end. So for me, it's really cool because I'm going to go back and listen to the song, obviously. And knowing the stories behind it is going to give it a new life, which is so special.
Thank
it is
you.
special.
Truly, truly.
Wanted that too, so
Yeah,
we would come together, like I said, like nobody was taking anything personally. We were just saying, how do we keep shining this just to make it,
right.
like it's our lucky penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wasn't about an hourly investment at that point. It was about making
Sure,
on what it is. And we,
totally.
Oh,
No,
I can't
you
wait to
can't
go back
rush it.
and listen
yeah,
now
yeah.
that you've heard everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, can you say that one more time?
said I can't wait for you to go back and have a listen.
Oh,
Now
yes,
that the
very excited for it.
lyrics hold true, and so does, so does.
Absolutely. Listen, I've got one more question for you two, and it's similar in the sense to, a first-time listener listening. But I want to know just in the grand whole for anyone that's going to listen to this collaboration single or branch off and listen to your personal works, is there an opening message that you'd like to say to them before they click the play button?
Good. I would just, be open-minded, because it may not be what you're expecting to hear. My other music is, jazz and rock and other, relative to what I do in my other.
Sure.
So, I'm just out to get more ears to hear it,
Yes.
no matter what style it is. So just be open to it and listen all the way through and
Yes. Oh, of
put out
course.
headphones because I
Thank you. Thank you.
what I do in stereo mixes. So
Oh, right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of got to listen to it with headphones, but I would say too, just know that it's going to bring you to a little happy space. So
Right.
just knowing that beforehand. So like when we were kind of promoting it before it hit the playlist, we were just kind of tickling our town a little bit just to let them know, like, um, you know, how beautiful, yeah, of a song it is, but we're really paying homage to like the community essence. So yeah, just like put your heart on your sleeve if you don't wear it there, even for this 3 to 4 minutes, and just, yeah, wear your heart on
Nice.
your sleeve, and it's safe to do that. And it's just, it's a beautiful feeling. So, yeah, just put a smile on, put your heart on your sleeve, and just know it's going to take you to a spot where you feel good,
it will.
where you were growing up, or,
I love that. Listen, I've heard a lot of answers to that question, and that was one of the most beautiful and heartfelt from both of you. I sincerely mean that. Um, Listen, before we wrap up here, I wanna plug the song one more time for you two. So if you didn't know who we're speaking with, I'm speaking with Pete Lacey and Alison Steele. They've got a new song out. It's called Home. Of course, in the article and everywhere else, we have the links so that you can listen and share and follow along and just generally stay tuned. I hope there's something in the works. I know music takes time, so please don't rush it. But ultimately, I do want to thank you both so much for taking the time. Like, it means a lot to me. And I think people who listen to this in any medium will really get to like the core of what this song is about. And it's always great to have an explanation.
thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Great pleasure, man. Thank you. Thank you
You're
so
very welcome. Awesome. Thank you again. Have an amazing rest of your day. And I hope to speak soon.
You too.
You too.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much.
Awesome. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.